Hello, 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 hello. Are you ready? This is G. We are gonna take a walk and take a peek and discuss. There it is. So it is for the week of August 14th. Your starry weather report. I believe that is what we're calling this, the starry weather report. And I think we got Taffy, who, of course, thinks it's time to come in the room. So hold on. Let's take a look at the weather for the week, the energetic weather, anyway. So we're going to begin with the moon cycle, just like we started last week, because I think the moon cycle is a good place to begin. So this is Monday, August 14th. And for Monday, August 14th, your moon starts off nearing critical degrees of the sign of Cancer. Strong feminine energy, Cancer energy, home, family, mom, nurturing can be your physical home. It's women, and it's the moon in Cancer. It is also conjunct Juno. Juno's already at 29 degrees there, so that's a big deal. Think of ancestry. Think of feelings. Think of how you are nurtured. What do you do to feel nurtured? What do you need? My emotional needs, my emotional satisfaction, my emotional security. The moon conjunct Juno. So this energy, you will likely start to feel it the day before, because the moon will, it'll be in this sign for 2.5 days, right? So we're on the last hour, the last 2 hours of the moon being in the sign of Cancer. So this would be like late Sunday evening, coming into Monday morning, right? Because for whatever reason, this chart is drawn up for 1:32 a.m. on Monday, August 14th, Central Daylight Time. There was no reason, no rhyme. It's just how it worked out. So, Juno is partnerships. Juno is who and what you're willing to commit to. This represents marriage. Yep, that's marriage partnership there. So we think of women and we think of home. We think of maybe home as far as your country, your childhood, your ancestry, your heritage, where your people came from. This is tribe energy. Who is my tribe? That's Cancer energy. So when we get to the critical degree, normally we can usually expect an increase of emotions because it's in the sign of Cancer. That is our emotions. And it's the moon. Heightened emotions for sure. All right. So now the moon, when we pull it back a little bit, we know that by the end of the week, it is going to move through the following 3 signs. Okay. So we have the moon already marked off. By the beginning of the following week, 7 days, the moon will already be at 21 degrees in Libra. It'll be right there. Okay. So that means that for you in your life, the moon is going to be traveling through the sign of Leo and Virgo and almost through all of Libra, 21 degrees of Libra. You follow? So knowing where those signs are, where's your Leo energy in your chart, what house number, right? Like in this house, it's number 7. Okay. So that's relationships, partnerships, marriage. 8th house is Virgo energy, bonded energy, shared energy, others' resources, shared resources. And the 9th house, because Libra's there. And this is higher learning, travel, airlines, vacation, college. That's how you know where the moon is going to be this week for you. It's going to be going through Leo and Virgo and Libra. Okay. Now, next we're going to look at the sun. The sun is a pretty quick mover, moves 1 degree a day. All right. 1 degree a day. So right now at this moment on this chart, the sun is at 21 degrees in Leo. So in 7 days' time, the sun should be at 27, 28 degrees of Leo, nearing the critical degree. That means by the end of the week, right? So Sunday, Monday, it's already almost there. And so that's why I got the mark here for the sun. 27 degrees, I have it written as. Okay. So what does this tell us? Leo energy. It's fiery. It's somebody in charge. Can be like masculine energy. But wait, what is Leo energy doing? What is the sun doing right now at 21 degrees in this chart? There it is, 21 degrees. Let's switch up the colors a little bit. 21 degrees. And look, Taurus, we got Uranus at 22 going on 23 degrees. So we have a square, a strong square, 22. And we've got the sun there. So this can be difficult if you are somebody that has anything at 22 degrees in Scorpio, because this represents a T-square. With Uranus, whatever you got over here in Scorpio at 22, and the sun. Now, the sun is a very quick mover. So this is a very temporary stress and tension with someone who is the authority figure in your world, in your life. Can be a boss figure, can even be a parent. It's in Leo energy, so this could even be a romantic partner. It could even represent a child. In some of your lives, there might be a child who's got a very strong will about them. Right? And so that might throw you some stress and some tension even. When we think of on a larger scale, sun is the authority figure, and so is Uranus. Uranus is an authority figure too. So when we think of the world, or, people who are boss energy, politics, government, these are two authority figures butting heads. So it's stress and tension in that area of your chart. Find out where's the 21 degrees of Leo. Remember, it's a temporary stress. And then the Taurus energy, Uranus, 22, 23 degrees. Okay. Now the sun's going to move fast. And by the end of the week, it's already over here at 27 degrees. So this is, like I said, a temporary stress and tension. Okay. Now, next we're going to take a peek over here. We're going to go and look at Mercury. Mercury's up here. You see Mercury? Virgo energy. Mercury is in Virgo. And look where Mercury is at. Let me get the blue going here. Mercury's at 18 degrees here. Now, we know that Mercury's in the shadow zone, has not begun to retrograde yet. Okay. Now, in a recent video, I might have misspoke. So I want you to go watch the Mercury retrograde videos, because I give the exact degrees, but I did these videos, like a month ago. So I'm, sometimes you might hear me say something and be like, oh, G got that digit wrong. It's a possibility, because I'm talking about multiple planets here and their degrees. And it's really possible that I might say the wrong degree for a planet. Okay. So just be certain to go and double check me, right? Now, while we're walking through this, the Mercury got into its shadow zone at 8 degrees of Virgo. That's where it entered its shadow zone. And it has just a little bit more to go. It doesn't have to go too much further before it begins retrograding. Retrograde is going to begin almost exactly where Mars is at here. So this is a tell. Think about that. You see where Mars is at 2133. This is on Monday, right? Now Mars is going to travel. By 7 days, Mars is not a fast mover, but by 7 days later, it's already over here at 26. You see that? This is why I have this marked here. Mars will be at 26, but on this day, this Monday, this is almost exactly where Mercury begins its retrograde. You see that? Yeah. And in 1 week's time, this Mercury will be where this Mars is here. So that's why this is like a foreshadow on Monday of what is Mars up to. Mars is my body. Mars takes action. Mars in Virgo says it's about my day-to-day routines. For some people, it's health. Matter of fact, Virgo energy is pets too. The health of my pets, possibly even. And we've got quite a few people who are mentioning either the health of their pet, medical issues with their pet. Some of them are going through surgery, and Mars normally signifies surgeries. I'm not making this up. Mars is the soldier born with a knife in its hand. You would think it was like the mobile army unit type thing, the mobile army hospital, like the MASH stuff, mobile army surgical unit, or whatever that stood for, mobile army surgical hospital, whatever. Mars is known to be associated with surgeries because of the knives, but because of inflammation. Yeah, Mars and surgeries. Virgo energy can be pets, but it can be our health as well. Typically stomach and digestion. All right. Now, Mercury is this location. That's where Mercury will begin. It will stand still, and then it will start going retrograde. It will start going backwards. Okay. And it'll go backwards all the way to 8 degrees. So to get more information on what that's going to mean for you in your life, go watch those videos. Virgo energy, knowing the keywords of Virgo and where the Virgo energy, where is the 8 to 22 in your chart? If you don't have your chart, you should comment below this video. Let me know you need your chart, and I will get your chart to you. You follow? This way you can see, as an example on this chart, this Mercury's between its 8 and 22 degrees is in the 8th house for this chart. You see? And so if I know the meanings of the 8th house, if I know the keywords, bonds, deep emotional bonds, maybe intense wounds from the past. The 8th house represents healing, possible opportunities to create healing. Mercury is options and choices. It's talking, it's news, it's communications. Virgo is domestic parts of our life, the day-to-day mundane stuff, doing laundry, ironing, cleaning, tasks, lists, right? The honey-do list, the chores. That's typically Virgo energy. But it can also be your job at work. What kind of a project are you working on? What kind of a job do you have at the job? What is it that you do? This is a big deal, because if it's a retrograde, that means something is likely changing. So for those of you who are in situations that you're not real happy, this Mercury retrograde can provide options and changes. It can provide that because it goes backwards, it thinks about something, and then it goes forward, and it says, hey, here's a piece of information that we didn't have. And so because we have additional information, we might be changing our minds. Always pencil in extra time during Mercury retrogrades, especially for travel, because Mercury is about local travel. It usually creates delays. Okay. Now, what else is going on? Let me see if we got any squares to that Mercury. I know we do, because I've already looked at this, and look, we got some squares, not just to Mercury, but take a look at the Gemini energy. Look what we got going on down here. We got freaking vertex. We got vertex right here, which is a point of fate in the chart, a person or an event of some sort. It's at 2237. Now, let's be clear. The vertex is very quick. If I move this up by 1 hour, it has already moved 10 degrees, which means it's already in the sign of Cancer. So I kind of don't even really want to focus on this, but there is Vesta here. Vertex is conjunct Vesta. Vesta is typically feminine energy. It's how you keep your inner light lit. Basically, how you keep your inner light lit for yourself. Mercury, Gemini, all connected. The mind, learning. Am I learning something new? How do I talk and communicate? What kind of thoughts do I keep? Gemini energy. This is also sales energy. It's school, it's classmates, it's coworkers, it's siblings, it's neighbors, and it could be housemates. So what's interesting is, and I'm mentioning this because I know we got a person who was in the star room recently mentioning that they took on a roommate. And so Vesta we got, look at Estrella at 18 and Vesta at 20. And these create a square, a tight square to Mercury. And Mars is also part of this square by this time as well. Mars is still at 21, so the square would have been felt even over the weekend. You follow? Over the weekend. Yep, because this is for Monday. So the 2 days before, this would have started angling. And even Pallas Athena is part of this. She's at 16. So there's like so much here in this Virgo energy that is squaring Gemini energy. So if we go back a little bit, if I can get my chart under control here, all of this, technically, all of this is stress and tension to all of this. Okay? So it comes down to where's your Gemini energy in your chart and where's your Virgo energy. You want to find the house number. That tells you where this is creating the stress and the tension in your life. Okay? Now we're moving on to Venus. We see her over here in Leo, and we know she is also in a retrograde. She's retrograding at this time. Now remember, this week, the week of the 14th, Mercury did not begin her retrograde yet. By the end of the week of the 14th, Mercury does begin her retrograde. All right? She begins her retrograde right there at 22 degrees. And here she's at 2133, right where Mars is. Remember, that was the tell. That was the foreshadow. And I'm mentioning that because Venus is retrograding. And Venus and Mercury are sisters. They're always talking. They're always communicating. And Mercury, sibling energy, housemate energy, peers, my peer. So is Gemini because Mercury rules Gemini. So it's all mixed together. And Venus is thinking about what she values and who she values. In Leo energy, it's my creative ways of expressing. Am I able to create? How much do I value my creativity? How important is it to me? Is it a priority? Venus is my love and my money. Leo is children. So it's my happy place. What do I do to make me laugh? How do I feel young again? Do I play? Is play important to me? This is Venus trying to figure that out. She's trying to sort through that. For some of you, it could also be your romantic partners. It could be Venus trying to figure out what she needs. How important is the romance department in her life? Is the most important thing for love, is laughter a key ingredient? Because Leo is laughter and jokes and feeling young again. And this Venus, she's a little young herself in the sign of Leo. She wants to play and have a good time. But it might be challenging because we got Black Moon Lilith here. Let me lift Taffy out one more time. And then this is the last time, I promise. I'm not coming back in for the night. This is too much. So Venus at 19 retrograding, you see how she's in red? She's going back to the point that I have marked right here. I'll just move that out of the way and I'll put it in black. That black line, she's going back to here. It's a 16 degrees. Now she does go further, but the 16 degrees, that's how far she goes back to in the next 7 days, because this is just a week out report, guys. Okay. So by next Monday, she's back at 16, which means she's conjunct, right? Which means she's going to be close to Black Moon Lilith. But is that true? No, it's not. How do I know that? Because I looked it up. And Black Moon Lilith starts moving pretty fast here. I had to take a double look at this. You see how Black Moon Lilith is in black? You see that? Her numbers are in black. She's moving forward. That's Black Moon Lilith right there. She's moving forward. In 7 days' time, Venus will be in Leo at 16 degrees. But where will Black Moon Lilith be? That's her right there. Black Moon Lilith in 7 days will be at 8 degrees and 35 minutes in the sign of Virgo, right where Pallas Athena is, and Mercury basically, this week. So you see the story? It's really interesting. Black Moon Lilith moving into Virgo, moving into daily routines, projects, tasks, jobs, maybe your job, maybe your tasks at home, maybe your routines at home, healthcare, hygiene, stomach, digestion. Black Moon Lilith moves there. And Venus will be here at 16. So we have an interesting story going on. It's my values, it's what I love and who I love, Venus, but then it's also Lilith leaving the Leo energy, which means Lilith I think there might have been some benefit having Lilith in Leo, because Lilith might not have been as serious. She might have been able to be a little bit more playful in Leo energy, to crack some jokes, okay, to be in a happy place and to figure what that is, right? To say, you know what, I can lighten up a little bit maybe and crack some, just laugh a little, feel young again. But when she goes into Virgo, it's a really good possibility she gets quite serious. Virgo is all about, aha, I can see the details now. And Virgo is meticulous. It has a really good eye at picking out the flaws and seeing the flaws. Okay. So for anybody, and this goes for me too, guys, if you live with people, this isn't just who you live with, but it's who you work with. People that you're working with. Just be aware we're all going to be under that same, sharp eye of Black Moon Lilith. And the reason we talk about Black Moon Lilith is she's our shadow side. Each one of us has a shadow point in our personality where we can be overly critical, Virgo energy, overly critical, because we want perfection. We want perfection. And so it's not for us to point out the Black Moon Lilith in another person. Our job is to see where she is in our life, to see how Black Moon Lilith shows up in our world, to catch ourselves and to be aware of ourselves in our Black Moon Lilith energy, to see where we're being overly critical, where we're being overly analytical, where we're nitpicking, right? That's where we're like, hey, chill out. You're striving for something that's not even possible for the world and for human beings. It's not possible. Chill, right? Don't sweat the small stuff. Virgo energy, the lesson that we all need to learn. The other thing I have to talk about here is the new moon. we're going to go to the other side of the chart. The new moon is happening 2 days after I have this chart drawn up, right? So I've got Monday, August 14th, and then by the 16th, which is a Wednesday, we're going to have the new moon. There's already a video out for that. Okay, you want to go watch that video. It's a new moon in the sign of Leo. It's at 23 degrees. So if we go over to that side of the chart, I know this is very busy. It's just the way it is. You see, the sun is at 21 degrees here on Monday. And so by Wednesday, the sun goes to 23 degrees. And then that makes sense because this moon that's down here, see the moon down here in Cancer, it's going to travel. And by Wednesday, it'll be conjunct the sun at 23 degrees right here. So that's a new moon in Leo. Interesting times, interesting energy. Willpower is strong. Stepping out, shining brightly. Ego, possibly egomaniacs, possibly showing a lot of courage and being very fiery is very possible. What are you looking for? Are you going to let me work? Put the butt down. Put the butt down. Put the butt down. Oh, I don't have her little. Let me get her little towel. Here. I got to put the water bottle over there so she doesn't. Here. Here. There you go. There's your little bed. Okay. She's got to get her arm right, her little butt right in the elbow of my arm. Okay, I need the microphone.